Could I ask you a bit more then about the outlook for the ruble over the next year, and over moves to perhaps liberalize then trading of the ruble?
Russia have a totally liberalized regime of forex operation. I talk about forecast of how it will look, the dynamics of real exchange rate. In our base forecast, it's our ministry forecast. The ruble will appreciate next year about 2% or 2.5% in real terms. I mean effective exchange rate in comparison with the trade basket of our main trade partners. For this year, we have about 5 or 6% exchange rate appreciation in real terms.
And how that's unaffected by the current chaos in exchange markets. I don't know if you've seen, but the euro today went to 129, went through 130. So your forecast there is still you maintain this forecast for the ruble then?
Yes. It's very difficult to predict future change between euro and dollars, which affect Russian effective exchange rate. In our forecast, we realize that it will be a stable situation, but I think that more probable future weakening of euro.
How will this chaos in foreign exchange markets, particularly the weak position of the euro, quantitative easing in America, how can Russia deal with that in its own policies of accumulating foreign reserves, for example?
We have a strong trade balance as a positive current balance. So, despite the strengthening of Russian exchange rate appreciation, way to increasing reserves of the central bank for next year. So, quantity easing from Fed will help us to increase reserves, but also increase pressure on ruble to appreciate.
Inflation has obviously been higher than expected, partly because of the hot summer, wheat prices, and so on. But how do you see inflation playing out over the next the end of this year and into 2011?
Next year we wait inflation about 6.5 or 7% December to December. So with a tendency for decreasing inflation. Which based on decreasing core inflation, it also some easing more or less pressure from food price.
How will the Russian economy grow next year? What sort of figures are we seeing? And in fact for 2010?
We wait for next year a slight acceleration of growth of GDP between 4 and 4.2% in comparison for the growth of GDP this year, 3.8%. If for this year the main driving forces is growing export revenue and inventory accumulation, for next year we wait more sustainable growth of fixed investment. First of all, based on investment in energy sectors and oil and gas extraction, but at the same time we wait improvement of investment climate and other sectors as manufacture, trade or household construction. So.
What are the prospects for Russia's joining the World Trade Organization? Obviously, this is coming along. Well, when will we see that, and what would be the effects, you think, on Russia's economy?
Well, in such big institutional change, it's very difficult to make a reliable macroeconomic estimation. But we wait that WTO accession in the long-term period will have a positive impact. First of all, from the point of view of improving investment climate and capital inflow to Russia. In the short-term period of time, it can have some negative impact for sensitive industry in Russia, like automobile, aircraft, where we must to ease our protectionism regulation.
When do you think that Russia will achieve membership of the WTO?
It's hardly to make some precise data because so many times this date has postponed or changed. But we wait that next year by printer or the first half of the year this deal can be completed.
Are there any Russian companies which the government might choose to sell abroad on foreign exchanges rather than on Russian exchanges in order to broaden the investor base?
Russian government launched now a very aggressive privatization plan when every year more than 10 or 12 billion dollars worth of equity of Russian company will privatize, and not only Russian but every foreign investor can participate in such deal.
But they will be sold on Russian exchanges, on the Russian stock exchange, for example, not on foreign stock exchanges.
Yes. Now, no, it depends from more concrete plan, but generally, yes, it's planned to this emission in Russian stock exchange. But many foreign banks will participate in placement of this share.
Could you give me any details of anything which is more advanced?
It's under process, as I knew. Many foreign banks now put their proposal how they can organize such emission of share. Okay. It's under process. I couldn't say who will be chosen by Ministry of Finance or Russian agency for real estate. So, by the way, it will be eminent foreign banks as Russian banks, maybe some consortium. It depends from which company concerned the deal.
Okay, thank you very much for speaking to us, Mr.